What's going on, guys? It's your boy Mr. Woz, and welcome to my Loot from 10 Hour series where I'll be grinding a certain skill, boss or anything in general, and at the end of the video I'll show you how much I've made. I've made a nice little playlist for you lot if you want to have a look as well, and I'll put that in the description below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, so without further ado, let's get into this grind. Today I'll be doing Vet'ion for 10 hours. I've only done a couple of kills of Vet'ion, so it should be interesting to see how I get on in the 10 hours. So let's get into this grind. I do apologise, this video took a little bit too long to make, but as most of you know, this is a hot spot for PKs no matter what world you're going, so I was hopping pretty much every world I was going to throughout the 10 hours. But Vet'ion is a boss level 454 that is located north of the Corporal Beast Cave. Now Vet'ion has two forms, the purple and the orange. Once you get Vet'ion to half health, he will spawn two skeletal hellhounds level 214. Now you have to kill these before you get back to Vet'ion again. So once you killed the first form, the second one will appear, which will be the orange form, and you just repeat until you kill him. Now if you don't kill him within 5 minutes in his second form, he will go back to his original form, but you won't have to kill his hellhounds again, so obviously you want to try and kill this Vet'ion before 5 minutes, of course. So the first kill we do, and we get 10 Sanfru serums, which are so expensive lately, but I'm not going to complain as that is a nice 250k drop, so a great start to my trip. And we get back-to-back Sanfru serums, really pleased about that, and that's 500k in a space of 5 minutes, so let's keep this up. Vet'ion is resistant to pretty much any combat style apart from Crush, hence why I'm using a Vigorious Chain Mace. Now this mace adds an additional 50% in melee damage and accuracy, so you can hit very high. Now this requires 1000 effort to activate the mace, just like the crossbow, and then additional effort to damage Vet'ion, so I normally take around 200 or 300 depending on how many kills you do a trip. Now I don't add a lot in just in case PKs kill me and take all my effort. I was trying out a few different methods to kill Vet'ion as I was pretty much new to it. I've done some safe spots as well, and also I did make a video on this a while ago if you want to check that out in the description below. Also I tried wearing different gear just to see what works and what don't work. I would suggest taking rag gear just because of the PKs you find when you're killing Vet'ion. So here is my gear setup for Vet'ion. We have the Dwarven Helmet, which gives the second best helm for Crush attack bonus, and you can get this from completing the Grimm's Tale quest. I have the Mythical Cape, which gives the highest Crush attack bonus in the game, and this is 10k if you lose this cape or if you just want to buy a bulk of them. You can get this by finishing Dragon Slayer 2 quest. I have black DI top and bottom just to protect myself from PKers. I've got climbing boots, and I've got a Radar Blessing 4 for prayer bonus, and obviously it gives the most prayer bonus out of all the blessings. We've got the Explorer's Ring, oh yeah, for prayer bonus. And one very important item, and that is the Salvami E, just because it increases your melee accuracy and damage by 20% against the undead. So seeing as Vet'ion is an undead monster, I would highly recommend using this. Also I'm wearing Ferocious gloves as they are best in slot melee gloves. Now the mace, gloves and helm you will keep if you die, obviously if you don't skull as well, but they are cheap to get back, and the other items you can get back for free just because you've done the diaries. Now not long into my trips I came across a couple of PKs, but when I said to them I was making a video they decided to stop, which is very rare to see as PKs normally don't care as they just want your stuff. So I was very grateful and they let me continue with my trip, but unfortunately I did pretty much run out of food just because of what they've done. Now there is a little trick I use so you don't accidentally skull on PKs, and that is to have the attack options on hidden. So even if you did click on the PK, you will go underneath them instead of just normally attacking them. So it is a handy tip just in case you didn't know. Now when killing Vet'ion, I have my quick prayers on, so I have protection from melee as that's Vet'ion's main attack style, as well as protecting myself against the skeletal hellhounds he spawns as well. Of course I protect Titan for obvious reasons, and an optional one which is preserves just so your stats last longer when you've potted up. Now for the event tree, I had the Dragon Warhammer with me, but as I was just testing the gear just to see what it does, I wouldn't recommend this if you're taking the Vigorious Chain Mace as it deals high damage anyway. But if you was taking the Bludgeons for example, then yes, I would take the Dragon Warhammer as the Bludgeon doesn't give the 50% extra bonuses. So I have one Super Combat, one Stamina Potion which is optional. I have 3 to 4 restores, and high tier food. I would recommend sharks and karambwans as combo food just in case PKs come along and you want to heal up fast, of course. And then I have a teleport out just in case I get a good drop or want to tele away from PKs, so I'm using the Royal Seed Pod, but you can use a Glory as well if you don't have the Seed Pod. Now I found out in the end that the Black DI top and bottom is a fantastic option to get away from PKs, so if you do have a PK on you there is a higher chance of escaping because D-Hide does give magic defense bonuses as PKs normally use magic to teleblock you or barrage first. Now normally I tell you how I was getting on after every hour like I normally do, but where I was logging out so much and getting distracted by PKers, so I couldn't keep track on how long I was killing Vetion for compared to what I normally do, which is record clips here and there just to make the editing a lot easier, if that makes sense. So we get a really nice drop. We got 100 Dragon Bones priced at 310k, so I'm going to bank that before any PKs come along. I haven't got any of the rare items that Veteran drops, so I'm going to show you on screen now all the rare items. Now there isn't many rare drops from Vetion, but we do have the Dragon Pickaxe, which is priced at 5.2 mil, and that is a drop rate of 1 in 170. And we've got the Dragon 2H, which is only 130k, but that is a drop rate of 1 in 256. Now I don't know why this isn't a super rare to get, but you could, oh yeah, find the Ring of the Gods if you are lucky, which is priced at a whopping 20 mil, and that is only 1 in 512 drop rate, which is quite surprising. Now, do I get this ring? You're just going to have to keep watching. Now, the super rare items are the Curve Bone, which is 1 in 5k, and we get the Skeletal Champion Scroll, which is 1 in 5k as well. And if you get this, you have a chance to fight the Skeletal Champion in the Champions Guild as part of the minigame, and during the fight you can only use ranged attacks. And of course, the last rare item you can get, and that is the Vetion Junior Pet, which I would love to get as it looks so cool when following you around. And we get some more magic logs, which is 100k, so all these little drops add up, and yeah, it's going to make a lot of money in the end. Now this is a drop I do like from Vetion, especially if you're running out of supplies. He drops 8 Dark Crabs and 3 Super Restore, so very handy as it keeps you going for a few more kills. And we get a really nice drop again, and this time we get 300 Oak Planks priced at 180k, so going to bank that straight away. Normally every time I get 100k or so in my inventory I just bank, just for obvious reasons. What the f is that? Ah, that's more like it. We get a Magic Seed drop which is priced at 125k, so let's get more of that please. So 2 kills after we get 100 magic logs again, which is another 100k in the bank, so very pleased with that. We are on a roll at the moment. We've got another sick drop. We've got 178k worth of Oak Planks, so let's bank them and add that to the loot. 2 kills after that we get more magic logs. This is insane. If we keep this up we're going to make a lot of money, so once again I'm not complaining, so let's keep this going. I've been getting a lot of these blood runes as well, so that's adding up to the loot as well. And on the next kill we get 200 Mortmire Fungus worth 137k. Now this used to be a really good money maker back in the day and probably still is, so yeah, another 100k plus drop, so let's bank it and add to the loot. Well, I haven't seen this drop in a little while. We've got another 10 Sanfru Serums worth 240k, so very pleased with that. It's all adding up nicely at the moment, so luckily I haven't got PK'd at the moment. And yeah, let's just carry on and see how much more we can make. I hate when I get a food drop when I've got a full inventory of food or I've just started my trip. It really winds me up because normally how this goes is when you're running out of food and you really want a food drop, you never get it. But when you've got a full inventory of food, you always get food drops. It's like when you go into Dust Devils where they drop the kebabs. Always when I've got a full inventory of food and I've just started my trip, I get in kebabs non-stop. But when I actually need them, I don't get any at all. It's just orangey. I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, let me know if that's happened to you guys as well. It is quite annoying at times. Would you look at that, guys? Another 100 Dragon Bones priced at 310k. I'm getting quite lucky with these drops. It's a shame I'm not getting any of the rare items like the Dragon Pickaxe or the Ring of the Gods, but like I said, I'm not going to complain. It's all adding up very nicely, so yeah, let's carry on. As the 10 hours was going on, I was getting better and better killing Vetion, knowing where to stand and where to move, etc. And it actually got to a point where I wasn't getting hit at all, so I'm going to show you a short clip of how I was doing that and where to stand, and also how to safe spot Vetion while I was killing the Hellhounds. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if you want me to do a full video on how to kill Vettion without taking any damage, let me know in the comment section below and I'll do this for you. But basically there's little mechanics he does, and when he smashes his sword down on the ground, as long as you're like 5 squares away from him, you won't get hit, because normally if you're next to him it will hit like 45, which is like half your health if you're 99 HP, so it's very dangerous if you're next to him. And also he chucks these lightning things at you and they can hit quite high if you stand on them, so just move a couple of squares away from that as well. And yeah, like I said, I won't go into too much detail, but you've got to sort of know when he's going to do certain attacks. But yeah, I'll do another video on this if you want me to, so yeah, let me know in the comment section. As you can see in this area here is like a little island of stones, and you can trap Vettion here while you're attacking the Hellhounds. I normally run north where my camera is now. As you can see, there's bones on the floor as well, so I run north, luring the Hellhounds over to me while Vettion is stuck. You could do this on either side, on the west, east or south side, depends on where Vettion is. But like I said, I'll explain this in another video if you want me to do it. So yeah, let's just get back into the 10 hours. Now, I had a question from a guy called Thieving H who was on my friend list, and he wanted me to answer this question on my next video, which is this one. And he asked, how did you grow your channel so well? Now that is a good question, and to be honest it's all about being consistent. So for me, I like to upload my videos every 2 to 3 days depending on what video I'm making, but I like to make sure I upload in that time frame just so I stay consistent in that way. Also staying consistent with the videos I'm making as well, staying consistent with my thumbnails, my title, oh yeah, all the descriptions, etc. But I have made a video on how to grow your channel with 0 subscribers and 0 views, so if you want to check that out then no problem. But yeah, obviously on YouTube it does take a while to get your views and subscribers up, as well as your watch time, etc. But everything takes time. Some people grow faster than others, some people take time, but yeah, just as long as you're consistent, that's the #1 thing in my opinion. So yeah, thank you for your question. Okay, so back to the grind, and we get an elite clue scroll. So first clue scroll we've had in a while, so looking forward to doing that and see how much we've made. So we've finished the elite clue and we get the casket, and we get well, that was shit. Well, at least this drop has made me feel a little bit better after that clue. We get 180k drop, which is the oak planks once again, so I suppose it ain't too bad after all. And we get some magic logs on top of them oak planks we got just a minute ago, so that's kind of took my mind off that bad clue reward I got a minute ago. So KC 115, and we get some more Sanfru Serums, which is 240k, which is very nice. And on the very next kill we get the exact same drop, so that's 500k in a space of a couple of minutes. And a couple of kills after that we get some more oak planks, so this loot is just getting better and better. So yeah, I just can't wait to see at the end of this video to see how much I've made. So yeah, let's just continue before this 10 hour finishes. Also, there's a handy tip I found, and this is a great way to escape PKers. And if you have 75 agility, you can hop over the stepping stones where the lava dragons are behind me. And I've noticed a lot of PKers don't have this agility level, so this is a great way to run away from PKers. But of course, if they do have that agility level, then you just have to do your best to survive. But there is a gate north of the stepping stones, where if you are quick enough you can trap the PK behind the gate, so it gives you a few seconds to run away and hopefully log out safely. We have finally finished this 10-hour grind. It took so long to do, honestly. So this is the loot that I got from 10 hours, and I've made just under 7 mil. I'm quite surprised considering I did die a lot, and of course minus the price of supplies too, so I spent around 2 mil on restores and the EFA, and I lost around 800k due to PKs, so I still made quite a bit of money, so quite pleased with that. So this is where I normally end the video, but just to make this video a little bit more entertaining, so here are some bloopers and deaths that I had doing this grind, so hope you enjoy.
Shut your little fucking mouth, man. Nice haircut, idiot. Ooh.
at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Wait, genuinely, just I'm done. I'm just gonna step away from the PC. I need a break before I smash something.
Gotta catch 'em all.